morning. Good morning. I'm Tom Campbell, Director of the Metropolitan, and it's a great pleasure to welcome you today to the preview of Kerry James Marshall, Mastry. I want to begin by acknowledging Kerry himself. Kerry spoke at the inaugural Met event for press in this building last March and talked about his powerful connection to the Met's collections. Kerry, it's thrilling to now celebrate your remarkable work in these galleries. In a preview video for the exhibition, you noted that what you hope a retrospective shows, in a way, is that your career was a thoughtful one. I think we can all agree that this exhibition proves that very point. We look forward to hearing from you in just a moment. Sheena Wagstaff, the Met's Leonard A. Lauder Chairman of Modern and Contemporary Art, developed the vision for the Met Breuer. She knew Kerry would be a perfect artist, the perfect artist, to inaugurate this first year of our program as we assert our commitment to presenting contemporary art through the lens of history. I also want to acknowledge the superb work of Ian Alteveer, the curator of the show here in New York, who worked closely with Kerry to install this beautiful show. This project is a collaboration with the Museum of Contemporary Art, Los Angeles, and Philippe Verne, the director, is here in the audience at the back, and the Museum of Contemporary Art, Chicago, with Madeline Grinstein, the Pritzker director of MoCA in Chicago, who many years ago suggested that a retrospective of Kerry's work be organized. Madeline, where are you? Lastly, I want to extend thanks to the sponsors of this exhibition, including the Ford Foundation, Kenneth and Rosalind Landis, Tony and Marti Oppenheimer, the Andy Warhol Foundation for the Visual Arts, Tony and Robin Coles, Pamela Joyner and Bob Rennie, and the extraordinary lenders who form a veritable community of supporters around Kerry and without whom this exhibition wouldn't be possible. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our curator, Ian Alteveer.
Thanks so much, Tom. Thanks for those very graceful introductions and thanks. And I want to follow those with really heartfelt thanks for my two co-curators on this project, the amazing Helen Molesworth from the Museum of Contemporary Art in Los Angeles, and Dieter Rollstrader, formerly Manilow Senior Curator at MCA Chicago. And together with them, as well as the many other people who worked with us on this show, Abigail Winograd and Karsten Lund, formerly of MCA Chicago, and Anna Katz at MoCA in LA, and here at the Met, the fantastic and fabulous Meredith Brown, Research Associate in the Department of Modern and Contemporary Art. None of this would have been possible. And it was a relationship amongst us that was a very strong one. We traveled together, we set eyes between all of us on every single work that's in this show. And I think as a tribute in a way to this incredible artist, what you see upstairs is a real work of love. Special to the venue here in New York, the show was recently at MCA Chicago. For the second venue, it travels next to LA early next year. But special here in New York is the gallery that we've titled Kerry James Marshall Selects. Something, a group of 36 works from the museum's collection. Works that we chose carefully together, Kerry and I, but really represent his vision of an art history that he's watched and looked at over the years. Touchstones for him, artists as old as Veronese and Breuer, or artists as recent as Frank Stella or Ad Reinhardt, and of course, the amazing Odalise Imrizai, about which Kerry speaks so eloquently on our website as part of the Artist Project. Those are, in a way, what brings Kerry's show here. This is the kind of artist who we love to show at the Met, and who we knew would be the perfect first living artist to receive a monographic exhibition at Met Breuer. It's been an incredible year already here, and this is just a sign of things to come. But I also want to thank incredible staff here at Breuer. They've been just amazing. And this place, this wonderful building, which is only 50 years old, runs like clockwork, and it's been an amazing experience. Before I ask Kerry to come up here to say a few brief words, I just want to reiterate how important this work is. How, from a very young age, Kerry decided he would paint the black figure to fill a void in the history of art, and to tell stories that are important ones, to tell stories about people who you don't normally see on the walls of a museum like the Met, but whose stories are incredibly important nonetheless. They're moving, they're heartfelt, they are full of love and joy and beauty, and they're stories that now we can never forget. Thanks to Kerry, the wonderful Kerry Marshall.
I bristle at those kinds of comments. Well, because, I mean, and I don't mean to underplay the importance of being at a place like the Met, because, I mean, the Met means museum. I mean, really, if you looked up, if you had a dictionary and you wanted to define what a museum was, the first thing you would say is it's the Met. And it's true that, I mean, this is where I always wanted to end up. You know, thankfully, while I'm still living, so I can enjoy it too. But this is, for me, this is really what it was all about. I mean, nobody can predict the outcome of their efforts from the beginning. I mean, it's always a kind of a dream and a hope. But to be here, though, I mean, it really still is a very magical experience for me. And I mean, I have, you know, more than a lot of people to thank for it. You know, one of whom I'll just mention, who was a teacher of mine, you know, in addition to Charles White, but Arnold Meshes, who was a teacher of mine, who was one of the people who really taught me how to look at paintings. And he taught me how to look at paintings through images that you would see here at the Metropolitan. And I learned so much from him. He was such a really important factor in my development. And he is now sort of in his last phase, you know. So he's 93 years old. And up until 2 weeks ago, always would send every week a new painting, send an image of a new painting he had been doing, because he had been working, he works every single day. And I think something about the work ethic, you know, what it really means to make pictures, and what it means to make pictures sometimes when you're out of the limelight and sometimes when you're in the limelight. He really showed me what it meant to be an artist, to be a working artist and a living artist who worked every day in spite of the attention you got or the lack of attention. And so I always have to throw a shout out to Arnold, because he was so important to me. But Tom, Sheena, Madeline, Helen, Dieter, Ian, Philippe, back there. I mean, these are people who, you know, who saw something worthwhile in what I was doing a long time ago, and they decided to stay with me through all of the developmental trials and tribulations. I see Tamsin Green, who's from Jack Shaman, who I started showing with back in 1994 or so, or something like that. My first gallery in New York. I don't see Jack. Where's Jack? And there'll be other people here from my past, because unlike a lot of people, I carry my whole past with me. So almost everybody that I started working with, I still work with. Copland Gallery was the first commercial gallery I started showing with in California back in 1980, when I did that painting called The Portrait of the Artist in the Shadow of His Former Self. Marti will be here for the opening tomorrow. And Elena Del Rio, who took over the gallery when Marti retired, she will be here tomorrow also. So these are all people who I like, and they seem to still like me. And then my wife Cheryl, who will be here later today, but who will be here for the opening tomorrow. But here's the thing that I'm going to use a quote that I've come to use as a really, this is my anthem of mine. This is the thing I think that defines a lot of what I think I'm trying to do, and the reason why I do what I do with the images that I do. So there's a professor at the University of Chicago, people may know it, W.J.T. Mitchell, also known as Tom Mitchell. But he has a book called What Do Pictures Want? And in there he uses a phrase that I think really defines what it means for me to be an artist. And I think it's worth repeating, and I don't think I could ever repeat it enough. And so he used, the phrase he constructed was that images don't only express our desires, they teach us how to desire in the first place. And to me, that seems to encapsulate fully everything that I experienced in my first encounter with images that brought me to this place. And because I understand something about the power of images and that the things you see actually matter, and the more things you see that are different from each other, the more it matters. And when you come to the museum, if you only saw images that were out of the European tradition, and you never saw images that came from another perspective or that pictured other people, I mean, and not just incidentally or every now and then, but in a substantial and kind of critical mass, then there's always going to be something missing. And it's something that will be missing that I think really sort of cripples our ability to imagine the world in the fullness of its possibility. And so I think what I tried to do with the works that I made, and I stayed committed to the imagery that I did, was because I think these are things that need to be seen because they contribute to the fullness of our experience as human beings. And so and in the fullness of our experience of what it means to make art. And so that's, I think, why I stayed so close to what I did, and the reason why that there's no moment in history that needs to be jettisoned in order to get to this place. Because it all is the background and the foundation upon which all these new things that we make have been built. And I never tire of coming to the Met. I never tire of going to MoMA. I never tire of going to any of the museums because these things are magnificent. And to be a part of that magnificent history was always my dream. And this is it. Thank you.